And it was after, remember when all those people stormed the Capitol, then they weren't allowed to fly? And it was just smash. Every night the news was a smash cut of these people being like, me? But I'm white.
This is Good One. I am Jesse David Fox, senior writer at Vulture and author of Comedy Book. My guest today is Amber Ruffin. We talk about her writing on Detroiters, which is one of my favorite shows ever. Her 10 years at Late Night with Seth Meyers, doing improv in Amsterdam of all places, and making even today's news into comedy on CNN's Have I Got News for You. She is the most fun person in America. Here is Amber Ruffin. I'm here with Amber Ruffin. Thank you for joining me.
Is this the level of quiet we're talking today?
Not necessarily.
It's so quiet.
It did start more quiet than I expected.
You're too quiet.
I will start talking louder now.
Yeah.
So, first question we ask.
Yeah.
What is the funniest thing that happened to you this week?
You ain't never gonna believe this shit. Can I say shit?
Yes.
Can I say balls?
Yeah.
You ain't never gonna believe this shit, balls. So I was at my friend's house a couple days ago, and she lives on a street named Pinckney Street. Pinckney.
Mm-hmm.
Odd thing to say, Pinkney, Pinckney. And so she's on the phone with her insurance company, and they go, she's freaking talking to them for like a half hour, gives her address up top. At the end, they run through everything, and the lady goes, oh, okay. So you live on 115 Pickaninny Street? And my friend is black, and the lady had like a southern accent. So she knows what the word pickaninny means, and I could have fucking died. And we laughed ourselves sick. And that lady probably did not feel as bad as she should have. But I was like, oh my God, this happened to the exact right people. We will laugh about this till we die.
I'm glad that we were able to capture this on film.
Yeah, thanks.
So I really want to talk to you about Have I Got News for You and Late Night. But I want to start with the fact that you are the accredited writer of two of my favorite episodes of television ever, which is the birthday episode and the family reunion episode of Detroiters.
Yay!
To me, they are as funny as things go. I was bothering coworkers with how hard I was laughing yesterday rewatching it. So for those who don't know, Comedy Central, for those who don't know, Detroiters was a show created by starring Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson that aired on Comedy Central about two local ad men in Detroit.
Yeah.
So how did you, what do you remember of meeting them? How did you get involved?
How did I meet Sam and Tim? Well, we're all Second City people. So it has to be through Second City. Or I was just born knowing them. I can't remember. It has to be. This is what I'm willing to make up.
Okay.
Some fucking Second City event, and we ended up dicking around. That has to be how it happened, right?
I guess
they're not gonna know.
Or like,
if I don't remember, they don't remember.
Were probably at Late Night when Tim was at SNL.
That wasn't it.
Okay.
I knew him before that.
Okay, then you go.
Did I? Oh no! It's all fucking falling apart. Oh no! I don't know.
Oh, do you remember how you got involved in the show?
No, I remember. I remember Joe Kelly asked me if I wanted to write on the show, but I know Joe Kelly, who was also one of the creators of that show, through Boom Chicago. So
Boom Chicago is the Amsterdam improv theater.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with Chicago.
It has nothing to do with Chicago, except that the founders are from there, and Chicago is the home of improv. Fight me. Yeah. Don't fight me. It's so weak.
Imagine someone comes up to you to fight you about that.
Well, if they want to fight me about that, I bet I can take them. Terrible. Please don't fight me. I can't.
So you met Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly you knew from Boom Chicago. Jason Sudeikis also co-created the show. Also, I believe, did Boom Chicago.
That's right.
So all part of it. So he asked if you want to write for the show.
Yeah. And I thought for sure I couldn't because I was doing Late Night Seth. So then I asked Seth and Mike Shoemaker, and they're like, we don't care. And I was like, oh my God. So then we were writing like upstairs at 30 Rock. So it was so easy. It was so nice. Like other shows, you can't do that. No other show is going to let you be like, hi, I'd like to write on a completely different show.
Yeah.
But luckily, Broadway video is such a huge umbrella that they don't care if you do another Broadway video show, which is really nice. But also, Seth and Shu want you to succeed,
Yes.
and they don't care if you succeed with them or whoever. Once they met you, they like you, and then they just want you to have a nice time.
Yeah, the whole running theme of this interview is them being like, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
Yeah, you can have you can host a full show while also still working on our show.
On my set.
Yeah. Do you have any memories working on the show or in the writer's room or of that episode?
I do. This is my main memory from the writer's room of that show is we would all, sit around and we're breaking story and we're talking about, oh, this would be funny and that would be funny. And then this happens and then this happens and then this happens. Great. We need a blow. And when someone asks for a punchline, you have 7 seconds before Zach Kanan says the perfect thing.
Oh, interesting.
So
Zach Kanan is a co-creator of the show. Tim Robinson's other second half. Everything he's done since has been a Zach Kanan.
Yeah. And who did we just say? Oh my God.
Zach Kanan.
And before that is
Tim Robinson, Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly would say, we need a blow. And I would say, oh shit, Zach's going to say something perfect. And like, I know we're going to use whatever Zach says.
Yeah.
So I have 7 seconds and I would be like, pitch and a half. And then it'd just be like, I earned my paycheck today because this man is going to say the perfect thing. And it was crazy to see. Like he would just go, this cute little face. And he'd open up his mouth and he'd say the perfect thing. And I'd be like, God damn, sir. Yeah. And I've told him that's his face. I don't care.
That's good. That's a good reputation for him to have. Do you remember those episodes of shooting? Because you were in those episodes.
Yeah.
Do you remember shooting the episodes?
Mm-hmm. I remember shooting the episodes and it was really, really fun. It was really fun. I mean, also catch me saying anything else about anything. The other day we were stuck in traffic. I was like, this is a little fun.
Okay, come on.
I have a problem. And it's been, but no, oh shit. So this happened when we were shooting. We had on Oba Babatunde to play Sam's father in Sam's dad's birthday episode. And Sam's dad's father, Oba Babatunde, was the original brother in Dreamgirls. So he's the one who sings, we are a family like a giant tree. He's the original guy who sings that. So me and Sam were like huddled together, like fucking flipping shit. Oh my God, he's here. He's the guy who does the thing. So then I go to Oba Babatunde and I pull him aside and I go, can you do me a favor? Can you go up to Sam and say blah, 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 blah? He goes, sure, no problem. He goes up to Sam and he goes, hey, Sam, you created a real nice environment here. I love it. It's nice. Everyone's like, it's like we are a family. And Sam looks at me like this and I look at him like this and he goes, like a giant tree. Branching out toward the sky, we are a family. We are so much more. And then it sings the entire song. We're crying, laughing. I was like, this is fantastic. I love that guy.
I'm glad I asked.
It was great.
Because it's amazing he's that. And then like this in the episode, he then, for those who haven't seen it, I almost don't want to spoil, but it is so funny where it's like, so the episode builds where everyone has to give a speech to this guy. And then Sam, he had all these jokes about his mustache, but then he shaved his mustache. But then Tim goes, does everyone remember he had a mustache? And everyone's like, yeah. And then he does all those jokes and Sam's sad. And then Tim brings him to a bathroom and Sam says something nice about his father and his father overhears. So his father overhears it and goes, that was a perfect thing to say. Thank you, son. But then a cousin comes in and goes, who took a crap in here? And it smells terrible. And Sam is like, I did. And then like, I was like, come on in. It smells terrible. Anyway.
I forgot that part.
It is unbelievable.
I took the shit. It's great.
I took the poop. That's right. And then Tim goes, I pooped too. We all poop.
Oh yeah, I gotta rewatch that episode.
It is so good. And then it's the Tim with the clown. The whole episode, Tim's like, that clown's gonna do something, and then he doesn't. And
My favorite. Yeah.
see, anyway, that's it. I just like love that episode so much, and it's the person who said it. So the thing about the show is Detroiters is it's silly. It's like big silly, and like it's grounded in the fact that like it is a realistic depiction of modern day Detroit, other than literally every single person is at their silliest at the time they're on camera.
Yeah.
Where you can imagine there are times they're not on camera where they're not that way, but on camera, it's silly. What does silliness mean to you?
Oh, silliness is the North Star.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me personally, I think, I guess I just always thought that I couldn't really like write or really perform anything from the heart because everything I'm involved with is too silly. Everything I like is too silly. And now that's still true, but I control myself a little bit better. But no, I think that what people want is you, and they want exactly what you're thinking, exactly how you think it. And that was the fucking shock of my life. So then, you realize you can be as silly as you want. And that's the very thing that people want to see.
Do you remember the first time you realized you were silly or sillier than others? Early
just
time?
Always. Just always. It's because I'm the youngest of 5. And everyone's like, has always been like, listen to the baby. Let the baby sing you a song. She wrote a whole song. Baby, sing the song. Then do the dance. The baby made a whole dance. Watch the baby. So then now I am lawless. I'm lawless.
That is a really good summation of your comedic energy. Is like the baby who was encouraged to never not be a baby.
One time, and this is in the book I wrote, I used to always go, I used to always sing, whenever my dad was going to take a nap, Dad, nicest man alive, there's nothing you could do to get in trouble by this man. It's nothing. He'd knock on the door and he'd be sleeping. He has sleep apnea. He works a real job. He gotta sleep. Knock on the door. I go, look at me. You may think you see. I would start singing. Like, what? Get out of here now. Go back to sleep. I shut it out. Knock. I go, yeah. Go. But you'll never know. No, Amber, no. No. I go. I come back. I sing some more. He's like, who is that? He's like, stop it. You have to go. And he'd like throw a shoe, but he like can't, he doesn't want to get all the way out of the sleep because then it'll wake him up. Like, ah. So then once you finish, I'll sing the song till it's over. And then once the song is over, he claps because the baby did a good job. And that's why I'm like this. Yeah.
Perfect. So you've been in late night comedy for a little over a decade now. I don't know if you've noticed. It's been a real wild decade in terms of the political climate of America. Yeah. Has it ever been difficult to maintain that comedic spirit?
Thanks for asking. No.
That's good.
I don't think so because I just think it's all gone to shit. I honestly think it might be fixing to get hard, but I don't think so because everyone's kind of on the same page. Like, we're all scared, and it's fun to laugh while you're scared. Because look, we've been scared, so join the fun.
Can you think of a particularly hard week where that perspective helped?
Fucking, only I start a sentence with fucking. What a horrible thing to do. Fucking, the day Trump one, I came in and
Which
was
time?
like,
The first time?
yeah, the first time I came in, I was like, everyone was all like white and sad. And I was like, fucking get into it. Get into it. Oh, did you just learn half the country hates your fucking guts? Yeah, no shit. Get into it. We're all together in this. Join the fun. And then that day I went on Late Night Seth and did a bit where the kind of chorus of it was join the fun. Yay. Beep, 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 beep. They hate your shit. Join the fun. And that really came in handy.
Yeah, I remember. So I was scheduled to do like a day at the office of Late Night Seth the Monday after the election, and assuming the story was going to be like, now that Hillary won, what's the show going to be like? And you saying that, I was like, oh yeah, it really was a very white and sad atmosphere. And then you were still kind of like
I
this.
was like, skipping through the hallways. We're all together.
So you're currently, while also still working at Late Night Seth Meyers, you're on Have I Got News with You? Have I Got News? Why did I with? Crazy. You're on How I Got News. Oh my God. So beyond,
It's how I do the news around you.
But now they're gonna keep it in because you made a funny joke.
I'm mad, baby.
And now they're gonna keep it in because I address it. No. So beyond being a writer on Late Night Seth Meyers, you're also on Have I Got News for You? Nailed it. Which essentially asks you to like treat the news as a game to play.
Yeah.
What have you learned from that, treating the news that way?
I've learned nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I've never learned anything. I will never learn. No, it is nice to be with friends who feel the way you do about everything. And then you all, because it's really just us like getting as many jokes off as you can. But then you kind of sit in it and talk about it. And you go, you know why this is wild? Because he did this, but then she did this, and then blah. And then you kind of get all your feelings out. Like over the summer when we didn't have I Got News for You, all my pent up rage was making me like a little ill. And then the second we got to work and I got to look at all these people and be like, these motherfuckers, am I right? And they're like, yeah. And it just lifts everything. It feels so good.
Can you think of a time where you're talking about a story and you caught yourself like, wait, am I having too much fun talking about this?
All of the time. All of the time. All the time. I do have to, because it's our job to look for the joke.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to look for the joke before you really process what has happened. Because it's in finding the joke that you process. But yes.
Can
No.
you give an example?
No.
Oh, okay. So earlier this year, and I cannot believe it's earlier this year, it feels like it was 4,000 years ago, you were supposed to host the White House Correspondents. I was literally writing the question like, well, a few years ago you were supposed to host the White House.
That's right.
And then you're like, oh, wait.
That is how it feels.
That is this year. It was March of this year.
Yeah.
You're supposed to host the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You said things about the White House on a podcast that the White House was not happy with. And then the White House Correspondents' Dinner was like, actually, we're just not going to have comedy anymore.
Yeah, I broke it.
You broke it. Did that encourage you or discourage you to continue to do comedy about politics in one way or the other?
No, I don't think so. I think it encouraged me to not put so much weight on work. Like, I think very personally is how it affected me. It let me be like, oh, yeah, fuck this. You know what I mean? Let me go outside. Because, especially then, because I was in the throes.
Well, I don't know what the rest of the sentence is, but throes is a...
No, I was in the throes of, that doesn't feel right.
Of what?
Of writing the White House Correspondents.
Oh, no. I thought
what would that...
Throes of, like, passion, of, like, feeling, like, I don't think you'd say throes of, you'd be in, like, the thick of writing it. Or just the middle.
I'm not going to Google it.
Sure.
But I want to know. Now, everybody, I want you to get online, and then I want you to at Jesse David Fox with whether or not he was right. There is no way that I was right. But I was in the thick of it. And when that happened, I looked up and I was like, I had a fucking bodyguard hired to be with me there and then come with me back to the house for a week. And then I had these people hired to make me look normal. And then all these writers I hired to also worry with me. And I was like, maybe this should have stopped at bodyguard. maybe my jokes aren't so special that I need to hire a bodyguard so that I can be heard. Like that, I think made me be like, all right, let's just change our perspective here.
Did everyone still get paid?
Mhm.
So then you're like, it's like free money.
Yeah. Free money. Although,
not free.
That gig's not about the not free. Not free. It costs something.
Yeah,
it costs somebody something.
Yeah, and that gig you're not doing for money, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
So Roy Jr. is the host of the show.
Yay.
I think one of the great sort of political comedians that ever lived, and one of the great comedians of our time. Do you have any story that captures your dynamic with Roy? I'd say Roy is less able to have fun every day about the news. Let's put it that way.
It is exactly what it seems. If it seems like Roy is the dad and Michael and I are wild children, it seems correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Roy has to keep the show moving, and he has to keep the show grounded. And both Michael and I are agents of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's pretty obvious. And Roy is not an agent of chaos, but he is kind of like, well, let's see where this chaos is going to go, And that's what makes it such a crazy pairing. And we are in love, and we do text. We love each other very badly.
Mm.
And I think that that's so cute. And you would never have expected that. I mean, I guess you would. We're all like comedy boys.
You're all like comedians.
Yeah. Well, and comedians tend to fall in love. But it's so thorough. We completely locked in as parent and children, or like oldest sibling and bad boys. And it's really great. But Roy can be bad too. If you turn him cameras off, he'll say some shit. Yeah. He's fun. But we're also very fun. Like when it's time to have a good time, like if I'm having a party, I'm calling them, who's going to bring the party with them? And it's them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What does it mean to have a comedy show? Like, what does it mean to have a comedy news show on a news network?
I know, right? Isn't it weird? It's so odd. But I do think what CNN could use all of the time is like a rundown of the thing. How CNN will be like, something happened 3 days ago and here to talk about it for an hour. I'm like, no, I want to know. Give me the now. What's now?
Mm.
And so our show, does a million things, but it also does that. And I think that's it's so nice to have a rundown. Even as I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, what else happened? Tell me some more stuff, Roy. Because people tend to get in the weeds with everything. And I don't need to know how the guy's babysitter's dog felt about the break-in that happened 2 weeks. I don't give a shit. I want to know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't enough stuff happening, So
I was about to say, it's like, oh, it must be so different going to work at a office that makes news and then do comedy. Like, oh wait, no, Third Rock is also it's most of it is making news, and then it's your little pockets and make SNL in your show. But I remember I once asked Seth, I was like, is it weird that there's all these tourists at your office? He goes no, it's much more weird to have an office where there's tourists that. It's their house. It's for people to visit. It's for people to go to Third Rock and go to the Todd Snyder store. It's not for us to make comedy.
That's true. Yeah.
So as we mentioned, you're currently a writer at Late Night Seth Meyers.
Yay.
And you do this show. I don't know when the movie's shooting. You're supposed to star in a movie where you're playing a female truck driver.
Almost.
Is that what I read it? I was like, it.
Yeah, sure.
You drive. There's driving, right?
Someone's driving a truck, and I'm in the truck that's being driven, and that's real.
Got it. And you have a career as a writer of the book of musicals.
Yeah, and the music of musicals.
Yeah. So then you're just sort of like working.
Yeah.
What is like a week when everything's on? What is like an Amber Ruffin week like?
A week where all of that is happening usually doesn't exist. But if such a week would happen, actually next week, Monday, I would shoot either Joke Seth Can't Tell or Amber Says What at 30 Rock. And in between, I would sneak off to New York City Center for rehearsals for Bigfoot, which is my musical that I wrote with Kevin Soretta and David Schmoll. And it is in rehearsals. We're going to rehearse until the end of February, and then we're going to open at New York City Center. And those rehearsals would go Monday through Friday. And then Friday, I would sneak out a little bit and go do Have I Got News for You? So it would be Monday through Friday. Shit, we might also rehearse on Saturday. So yeah, I would have one sweet day off to cuddle up on the couch.
Do you... I remember you often will tell, like, you as a kid, you'd be like, I imagine one day I'll be a mailman who, like, does local plays. And that was your imagine of your ambitions of how your week would be scheduled.
That's right.
Are you ultimately like, oh, I'm actually a person who, like, wants to be working 6 days a week? Like, is this, like, your natural...
Yes, dude. Because when we were doing, it's just like, it's so glamorous. And it is. Like, at one point, I was doing The fucking Wiz. And then, in order to get to 30 Rock, you have to walk through Times Square. And as you're walking through Times Square, the big purple M&M would be on the thing. And I'm the voice of the purple M&M. I'd be like, holy shit. Then you walk to work. And then you'd get to be on camera doing the thing. I'd be like, this is it. This is the maximum. So, like, it feels so cool. And what I'm doing, there is no stress in it. Like, a lot of people have any one of these jobs, and they hate that shit, and they don't want to go. But I'm like, hey, Roy, I'm so excited. We get to go to work tomorrow. Click, that's how I'm behaving.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Because we were like, cool, like, thanks.
Yeah.
So part of the reason you're able to do this is, like, Seth Meyers has taken the institution of a late night show, which usually is like a grind, and people usually has turnover, like really, really fast turnover historically. And I imagine has less turnover than any show in the history of late night.
Easily.
Like, so few people have left. It is wild.
We do not leave that show. You got to be crazy to leave that show.
It at this point, yeah, it's just like, why people like, as you did, you had a full show on, and everyone was still working on it. So, can you think of a story that captures what Seth is like as a boss?
When we first got Late Night Seth, they came in and they were like, don't be yelling at people online. Don't engage, and get a therapist. And they were like, you will need these two things. People are going to tell you a lot of this and that. But no, when we got our job, Seth said, there, were a lot of options for writers for this job. I chose the nicest people. And it's true. And each person is more sweet than the last. And I do fear that I'm the one who is like, you're my best friend. I love you so much. I think everyone's like, mm-hmm. But I don't care.
Like, you're my coworker, Amber.
I know. I'm like, can I come over today? That's me. I'm me. I'm doing it. I'm going too far.
Do you remember the first jokes Seth Can't Tell?
No.
Or just like...
I remember pitching it.
Yes, remember
when we were in the read, where we all get together and read scripts we'd written with Seth, and they pick what they want to do. And I just thought, we were all laughing, but I was like, this is for us. Oh, here's this black joke, scandal, And then at the end, uh, Seth's gonna say a joke, scandal. And then Seth improvised. Black women and lesbians are liars. And I was like, it made me laugh so fucking hard that I just assumed he was saying it to be funny.
Yeah.
And then he said it for real. And I was like, but it was great. I think you can tell who Seth is, so he gets a lot of leeway.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can tell that Seth would be the first one to be like, don't fucking talk like that, So I think you can stand hearing him say stuff that other people would not be able to.
Yeah. What is the process of compiling those? Is it just sort of jokes that are, at least, was it first jokes that came up, you're like, well, I can't put that joke on the show normally with like a separate bucket, or at this point?
Yeah, Jenny came up with jokes Seth can't tell. Jenny Hagel. She had a bunch of jokes that were too gay. And Baze was like, we can't use these jokes. So that's why she came up with jokes Seth can't tell. And then I wrote some. Now, there is a system by which they choose monologue jokes. I wouldn't know. I don't write monologue or write scripts. But they check mark the ones that will make it.
Yeah.
And then they heart the ones that are too terrible but are so funny. So then we would originally go through the hearts.
Yeah.
And we would take the hearts and use them. But then we would also be keeping tabs on Black and gay and Puerto Rican setups. And then we would write our own. Then we sent them out to everyone to write. So now it's just all jokes coming from all angles. And sometimes a writer will be like, this is for jokes I can't tell. And will just send us an errant joke.
Do you have a favorite or one that you remember?
Yeah. A black firefighter was recently honored for something. A black firefighter is like a white firefighter, except he uses an ask. Because black people, instead of saying ask, say X.
Oh.
I don't know if we did it on the show or not.
No, yeah.
But when I heard that joke, I fucking laughed myself sick. I think Ian Morgan wrote that joke. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So, late night has had some significant cuts recently. And when Seth was on the show, I asked him if he feels like he's going to be one of the last late night shows ever and late night host ever. And he didn't go, what are you talking about? He's well aware of the reality of it. How does that make you feel as a person who's had a late night job for 10 years?
I know. It makes me feel lucky. Because these people been dropping like flies for years. I feel like it started a long time ago. Am I crazy? Or was it like 2, 2, and 3 late night shows like CBS had? No, maybe we all had 3. CBS had 3, NBC had 3, and ABC had 3. Am I right?
I don't know what NBC definitely had 3 because
Yeah.
Carson Daly. And then I'm sure CBS had something that went after, but I'm not sure. And then I don't know.
The British guy.
That British guy was Craig Ferguson, not the British guy that replaced him. Also, I think Craig Ferguson is Irish or Scottish, and I don't want.
He's Scottish.
Scottish, so I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. So he's Scottish. We all know he's Scottish. So
Yeah.
that was just right after the Late Show. So
Really?
So I don't think they had 3. I think it was 2, 3, 1. I don't know if there's anything that followed it.
You know what I would watch?
To say nothing of then, Daily Show had the Daily Shows too, right?
Samby and shit.
Right. I mean, like arguably, Comedy Central had 3. Then there was Watch What Happens Live, which still exists. Yeah. Then like everyone, there was a time where there were so many late night hosts that there was a controversy of a cover of all these men late night hosts.
Yeah.
Now you're like, whoa, there was once 11 late night hosts.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely the late night bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch a show that was like, this is the history of late night. Bop, 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 beep, 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 boop. Just because it's so interesting.
I'm sure CNN has done the history of late night.
I was on it. And they did. They did. I was on it.
It's funny to be like, I would watch a show. I was like, you were on the show.
But I want to see it laid out slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, I guess
So-
quickly.
Got it.
I want to see this was
You'll
this
watch
and
a
this,
YouTube
but then
compilation
this was this.
of a timeline.
Too much TikTok. I can only ingest so much. Boop.
I have a vague. I mean, it's like I believe it. Like there was a show before the Tonight Show on NBC, and then everything kind of came from that. And there's like things would pop
There
up.
was a show before.
I meant like historically, but like I mean, like there was a time where it was Jay Leno's show, Conan's Tonight Show, Fallon's Late Night Show, then Carson Daly.
Then
So there's
Carson
4.
Daly. Jesus. Yeah. I mean, I said all that to say they've been dropping like flies for a while.
I forgot that was the point.
Yeah. Oh, for a long time.
So I was thinking about your late night show that you had, speaking of,
Boop.
and the thing that is so wonderful is all the songs that you did. And it's like dozens.
Yeah.
Dozens of songs are all on Spotify.
Yeah.
You can just listen to them. And some of them are about like topical things that happen or like the news. But like a lot of them are about like blowing up Chipotle bathrooms and like how you shouldn't make jokes about people with flat butts anymore.
It's my favorite.
Do you have a favorite one?
It might be Flat Butt song. Oh no. Okay, so we in the first season, second, we sang a song that was I'm gonna think of it. It's me and it's Tarek, and we're singing a song, and it is. Is it the way you look when beers out of the airport, baby? Is it the way you reacted when they said get off the plane? Oh, okay. It's called White People Facing Consequences Fills Me with Joy. And it was after, remember when all those people stormed the Capitol, then they weren't allowed to fly? And it was just smash. Every night the news was a smash cut of these people being like, me? But I'm white. Like as they get pulled off a plane and shit. And it was just the funniest. It was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. And we wrote this song that was like, and I am not a great singer, but I don't give a fuck. But we were really singing, and it was like an actual beautiful song. And it was like, is it the way you look when you're being dragged out of the airport, baby? Is it the way you reacted when they said, get off the plane? And we loved that song so much, and performing it was my heart's joy. And we would like listen to it every once in a while, be like, this song slaps. It's a good song. So then next year, when we have guests on, we have my favorite singer of all time, Ale DeBarge, on the show. And Ale DeBarge agrees to sing the song. And so then we go, halfway through the song, we go, ladies and gentlemen, Ale DeBarge. And he goes, is it the way? And he sings this verse. It was so fucking good. I was like, this is the point. This is all of it. Yeah.
Can you think of any other moments? This seems like a good example of from the Amber Ruffin show that stand out as moments where you're like, whoa, this is my show. I got to do this. That was the energy of the show.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a greatest hits of those moments.
Yeah. The energy of the show is definitely, are you going to stop me?
There's a moment
no one stops
where you're talking to Queen Latifah just about her TV show as if, and you're like, my mom wants me to ask you this. And you're just like, you got to have a TV show and you got to do this? Anyway, but what are moments for you?
I really loved torturing Tarek, because Tarek is a lot like a dad, where I can be like, Tarek, I want you to dress up as Bruce Leroy from Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. And he does it, and he's so sad the whole time. Or I'll be like, Tarek, I want you to put on mascara and suspenders and sing a song about Joe Biden where we call him Daddy. He's like, okay, I'll do it. Like, it's so fun to torture that guy. But then we hired, just like Seth, we hired the people we love the most. So then after every show, we would have, first of all, I would end every show by fucking chugging a margarita. Something you should never do. Margaritas aren't engineered to be chugged, but we would. So then after the show, we would just sit around and drink margaritas and stuff. It was just lovely. And then the best part of our lives is that all those writers who didn't know each other are still friends. It's my favorite.
In there's so much in what so they just how do you I mean obviously they're they're friends but like there's a way that friendship materializes, like are there group chats, are there like do they meet up, like are
I
there reunions?
I'm fucking looking at their stories and they're hanging out.
So you see them hang out,
Yeah, I'm like, oh, the
you're like,
babies.
what's the legacy of the show? It's like, oh, look at them hanging out with each other.
Oh, what a nice thing to say. That is the legacy of the show. Oh, yeah, that our little friends fell in love.
It's funny because I'll hear you tell the story of, I think it's like 10 years ago, you auditioned for SNL when they were looking for a black woman after. It was a whole thing, and it resulted in Shashir getting the show,
Yeah.
Shashir's made it, and then eventually Leslie getting the show. And you'd be like, what do you remember the times? Like, we all became friends. We got to all hang out with each other at the shows. And be like, and you could tell they wanted to say something about who knows. And then you're just in representation of media, I imagine. You're like, it was so cool. It was a show, and everyone got to be what do you remember about those shows? The audition shows, because it was seeming like it's a bunch of showcases.
Oh, dude, those shows were fucking hilarious. Like, and black women in comedy we're each other's moms. Like, I don't see a lot of black women in comedy beefing, especially once you get into the late night space. We're all like, how many of us can we get up here? Like, at one point, when Robin Thede had a late night show, we were like, you know what Robin Thede likes is black women who write comedy. So then for her birthday, me and Ashley Nicole Black were like, between the two of us, we can call every black woman in late night. And I think it was all but one who wrote in LA, but we got a table this fucking big. It was 10 of us, and that was everyone. And I'm saying 10, it might have been 8, but it was literally every black woman in late night, and it was just the coolest thing. Now, none of this is the question you asked, but it's where we are.
I think so. I think it gets at the point that a sort of network came out of this.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what happened on SNL, I mean, like, these people got to be on SNL, and that's great. But, like, it was not like, oh, no, I didn't get SNL. It was like, one, you got Seth from it, but also you got, like, all these friends from it, which seemed to be just as good as getting Seth.
Yeah. It's like this cute little sorority, and there's still, oh, I should fire up the group chat. Oh, okay. So we're going to text them later. But it is like this little brotherhood, sisterhood, where it's like, remember when we were forging our way through and everybody's shit is so much worse than mine. Everybody else is like, oh yeah, my crazy white boss and my white coworkers, everything was so white. I'm like, yeah, but everybody, we liked each other. Oh, well, I don't know what that's like because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it's tough out there.
Yeah. I believe, Tarek, you met at Boom Chicago.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about Boom Chicago because it is a special place in my mind in so much as because it's so removed from the entertainment industry, even though like so many people then went on to have success there.
Yeah.
It's just a rare thing of like you get to be paid to perform comedy and that is all you're doing. Like truly living a artist's life detached from. And so I was wondering if you have any stories that capture how unique that time was for you. Or two stories.
That I could say out loud. I mean, we were wild, dude. I think Boom Chicago, the thing was you would move there and you were young. You were in your early 20s and you didn't know no better than to act crazy. And you get there and you're a teeny bit famous. Like Boom Chicago back then was on the Light Supply, which was like the big town square. And there would be a huge, like, 2.5 story tall poster that sometimes had you on it. Or like trams would go by and it'd be you on the freaking tram. And it was cool. And you would go next door to the fanciest nightclub. I'll never remember the name of it. Sugar Factory? No, the other one. And you would be like, "Hi, I'm from Boom Chicago," and they'd be like, "Oh, right this way." We're just wild. And then Boom Chicago itself
Yeah.
would throw parties, and you would just be there on whatever you could find, and you would party hard and sweaty all night, and then go upstairs to the office and fall asleep. You wake up, you splash water on your face, and you'd go back downstairs and you'd go to rehearsal. And it was just wild. And wasn't nobody trying to be like, "Hey, everyone, you have to do this and you have to act right. And you have to," like, our bosses were like, "Fucking let's rage." It was great. It really was it was a place to be a bad boy. But also because you had shows 5 to 9 shows a week, you were at the top of your fucking game. And there was nothing you could throw a Boom Chicago performer that they couldn't flip their way out of. Like, at one point, like, at Boom Chicago, you learn something that is very important that every comedian should have, is the place where you are performing is your house. These people are in your home. So whatever behavior you would allow in your home, that's the behavior that's allowed here. So if some motherfuckers out there yelling at me, well, now I'm allowed to do whatever I want. This is my fucking house. Like the owner of Boom Chicago. When people were terrible, he would like, the tables would be up to the stage. And Pep Rosenfeld, sometimes someone would say something he didn't like, he'd be like, "Oh, fuck no." He'd step down and walk across their table, snatch up their drink, fucking put it down. It's like, this is what you want.
Yeah.
Like, that's the element of danger you want at a comedy show. At Boom Chicago, literally anything could happen. Like one time, and how lovely that this conversation devolved into me being like, one time at Boom Chicago, which people normally roll their eyes at.
Well, that's why.
Fucking ask for it.
That's literally all I wrote down in my notes is Boom Chicago.
One
I didn't
time,
think it's long questions, but that one I just wrote Boom Chicago.
Boom
question mark.
Chicago, and then you like duck
Yeah.
to get out of the way of this. One time at Boom Chicago, we had this guy who could not stop falling asleep, and we would like see him and like maybe reference him a little bit. Like, a Boom Chicago show is 70% improv games, like Whose Line Is It Anyway? And then 30% written sketches. And then there's some that are both. So then we would see this guy be like, "Look at this sleepy asshole. Ah, ha, 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 ha." Everybody's laughing. He's still sleeping. We come back to Act 2. We do this bit where we talk to everyone in the audience. Then we go back, prop up as them, and then are like, "This is a sitcom about this guy." So the sitcom was about Sleepy Man. And we put a blanket on him. And we had the camera on him, and it's on these big screens, and we're like, "Hi, hi, hi." Everyone's crying, laughing at Sleepy Guy. It's best. He never fucking woke up. Then at the end of the show, we do a song about someone, and we did a song about Sleepy Man. And I swear to God, we're singing, we're rhyming with sleep, we're singing, we're rhyming with public, we're singing, we're rhyming with this and that. And as we go, "It's Sleepy Man." The camera's close up on him, and he goes, and he looks right in the camera, and everyone went, "Ah!" And then we got a standing ovation, and then we had to come back and do an encore. And then we did an encore about 3 people in the audience, and then mine was about our encore was freestyle rap.
Yeah.
And then I freestyle rapped about Sleepy Man, and my rhyme was something. "I hope your dick is longer than your attention span." It's horrible. We were horrible. And every once in a while, I'm sleeping in my bed, having a lovely day, and I'll wake up and go, "If anyone ever sees anything I did at Boom Chicago, I will die." Yeah, horrible.
What do you learn from? I mean, you're doing comedy in English in Amsterdam to often tourists from like a third place. So
That's right.
So what do you learn from that experience that you feel like still applies?
Whenever I perform, and it's fucking dripped into the way I talk now, everything I say is so crisp and so clear that I make sure that you can understand it. And whenever I'm on stage, whenever I'm on camera, I'm still like, blah, blah, blah. But whenever I'm on stage, I'm talking a little bit too big and my eyes are a little bit too big. And I make sure to get to the end of every sentence instead of the end of every sentence, you know? So it's that like basic shit that people go to theater school and pay a lot of money to learn. We learned it by fire because he doesn't know what you're fucking talking about. And you're looking at the audience. So you can see the number of people who understand you and the number of people who don't. And every show you get sharper and sharper until you're the thing that can bring together an audience full of Germans, people from Spain, Dutch people, to hen parties from London, you know, and we can all have a good time. Like, that's really, really hard.
This is I wrote, okay, long question time.
Oh.
So in an interview, you once said, if Black people didn't find the comedy in racism, which we always do, you'd have a bunch of fucking dead Black people. This is what you wrote. It was just dead. But what's fascinating is it reminded me so much of this book the academic Danielle Fuentes Morgan wrote. She's a friend of mine. It's called Laughing to Keep from Dying.
Yeah.
And so this is a quote from that book that I really like, which is, laughing to keep from dying is the survival technique that operates in two registers: the ability to inspire laughter in those who cause harm, because a form of protection is the plausible deniability of just jokes. And then also, the necessity of inspiring knowing in-group laughter opens up Black interior space that wards off psychic or even physical death.
Mm.
So I feel like that's the setup to this question. We're not even at the question part. I feel like over the last year of the second Trump administration, there is uncertainty about what political comedy is for. There's a cynicism towards political comedy. It's like, well, it didn't work. He still became president or whatever. And I feel like the thing about you is you've always had a certain certainty of purpose. And I want to ask you, where does that come from? And how would you articulate what your hope is?
One time, a friend of mine who I really like, right before George Floyd was murdered, because there were a bunch of incidents that led up to it. One time, this guy goes, well, you can tell he was being violent because that's what the cop said. And I went, oh my God. And just then it clicked. Yeah. And I was old. This is right before 2019.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, people don't know. I feel like I'm two people. Mm-hmm. I'm before the murder of George Floyd and I'm after. Mm. And once I realized that they honestly, I just thought they knew or they chose not to look. I don't know. Mm. I never made the connection that white people thought the cops were telling the truth. I just think that's bananas. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, you don't know. You don't know. So that, I think, really activated me. Because I'm like, you can't see. It's in here. It's in the air. It's in the water. It's everywhere. You can't see it. So that kind of made me insane. And then I really worked very hard to spread the word until I broke my back pulling people into the light. And now I don't do that anymore. Like, if you're like, well, those are crazy blacks, I'm like, yeah, peace. I can't. I can't. But I remember when, after George Floyd's murder, that week of shows, I opened Late Night Seth with a story about me and the cops, real me and the real fucking cops. And what happened was George Floyd was murdered. I was like, oh, I have to write something. I wrote a sketch. The end of the day happened. And I was like, ooh, a sketch can't do it. Then I think it was over the weekend, I wrote this and it had timed out. Then I wrote a rant. Rant's fail-safe. It's how I actually feel, a rant.
Yeah.
And that had timed out. You couldn't do a rant. America changed so much that I couldn't do a rant about it. So then I was like, well, ain't but one move left. And I remembered that fucking guy who was like, well, the cop said he did, so he did. And I was like, oh, the problem is people don't believe Black people. So I was like, well, how lucky am I that I've been this same idiot looking in your cameras for fucking 8 years at this point, being like, ugh. And the cops tried to murder me, this small guy. I'm not small. I'm not intimidating in any way. And they tried to get me. So after that, I've never received mail from Late Night Seth ever. And then after that, I got so much mail for that little bit of time, being like, I could not wrap my mind around it until you said that. And I was like, oh, that's great. Good night. No, I'm not doing this anymore. But then I went on to do Ruffin Show, where I did do that quite a bit. And then I might still have some giddy up in there. And not today. Maybe on a different day.
Yeah. We won't reveal what day today is. Now it's time for the final segment of the show. It's called the Laughening Round. It's like a lightning round, but because it's a comedy podcast, I say Laughening Round. Do you ever hear a joke? Like a street joke or a dad joke?
Do I what?
Have a favorite joke?
Do I have a favorite joke?
Knock joke.
I mean, my favorite knock joke is interrupting cow, of course.
Yes.
Because I was right when I was 4 and I'm right today. Fucking excellent joke. I don't think I have a favorite joke. I fall in love every day with something new.
No. I love it. Interrupting cow is
classic.
Brilliant. Whoever did that, whoever the person was.
Yeah.
Do you have a short story of an interaction with a legendary comedian, living or dead, you're willing to share with us?
A legendary comedian, living or dead. Comedian. I feel like every late night host, there was for one year at the Emmys, like every other year at the Emmys, late night is a category and it's not. So we made it to the real Emmys the year Ruffin Show got nominated. And so we're in there with other late night hosts, and each fucking late night host comes up to me and is like, hey, you're doing a good job. Oh, especially Trevor Noah fucking grabbed me and was like, hey, you are doing an excellent job. This is fantastic. You just keep doing. And every once in a while you'll meet a Black person and they will Black person you. Like, I'm an old Black lady, and every time I see a child, I'm like, come here. You better keep doing what you're doing, And I feel so young until I see them. And I'm like, you had best keep doing that. That's right. You're, it's the same shit that turned me into a monster. As that unflinching Black encouragement. But I got that treatment from Trevor Noah. And then also, before Chadwick Boseman was Black Panther, he was in a movie called Get On Up about James Brown. And he was getting interviewed at Late Night Seth for it. And I had just done an Amber Says What. And I came out and I was like, oh man, I love you. Because that movie fucking rules.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love you. And he grabbed me and was like, you better keep doing what you're doing. Excellent. That was such a good thing. You did such a good job. I was like, oh, you're Black ladying me. And I love you so much. And then also, when Queen Latifah was on Ruffin Show, I go, oh my God, thank you so much for doing the show. I love you so much. And she goes, of course. Like, of course I would do this show. Of course. And I was like, we're Black. Yay. Yeah.
What's a favorite moment in a writer's room that you can think of? Any of the rooms you've been in?
I have a lot of favorite moments in late night. 50 of them are fucking. So Lutz went out of town to shoot, I think maybe Loot, or when he had to shoot Mapleworth Mysteries. And he was like, do whatever you want. I don't care. Just don't eat on my desk. So we went and we brought a crock pot in and we had 4 different meals. One each day that week. And we would make a video of everybody, like a line that stretches all the way out of the office, being like, oh, what's this line? Oh, and then one of us would be like, come get your chili. And we did it every day. And he was so mad. The one thing, he shouldn't have fucking said that. That's on him.
That is on him.
Then also the day Scollins came into work wearing coochie cutters. And I was like, why are you fucking short so short? And he said he went home and threw them out. We roasted him pretty bad. Then there's that one time where Scollins ate cereal out of Jenny's mouth. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Too bad. It was a dare.
The cereal in her mouth.
She's a bowl, and he put a spoon in it.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as gross as it seems, but it's still pretty fucking gross. Then we also like, there was a point in time where we would just be like, let's go get a steak. We would just go get a steak. There was a point in time when we all were a little bored, but we had to stay late. And so there was this dead time in between, especially if you write sketch. So the whole sketch team was like, let's go get matching outfits at J. Crew. So we went downstairs and all bought the same outfit. It was so cute. Then we took a bunch of pictures.
What was the outfit?
A blue shirt with maroon pants. And it was Lutz, Karen G, me, Ben, Scollins. And I think one more person. We had so much fun. All of these things, me and Ben singing all the time. We would also do 20 push-ups every day for a while. We just had, every once in a while when the vibe would be off in the room. I did not like that. So I'd be like, we're having a fucking margarita day. I'd go to the store and I'd get stuff to make margaritas. And I'd come back. I'd make everybody have margaritas at 5 p.m. or whatever it was. And then at one point, Seth was like, you never told me to come have a margarita. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, you're right.
These are the stories that people assume what working in television is like. And most times people are like, no, we're just sitting quietly. And then someone goes, I think of something. But you guys you're living the dream.
Yeah. I can't believe I never wrote a show about it. I guess there's one called 30 Rock. But
now you know you knew one. 31 Rock.
31 Rock.
Do you have an opinion about something that people think is comedy that you think that's not comedy?
I really don't, because I don't like to stop people from having a good time. I really don't. I think that's stupid. And I think if one person was right about comedy, there wouldn't be but one comedian. I think different people enjoy different things. Like that's why there's so many different sensibilities, and that's how writing is so special and it's so neat. Because I have Jenny Hagel, who we overlap quite a bit. And then I have Kevin Soretta, who I write musicals with, and we overlap almost completely. And then, there's other people that you write with a little bit and you overlap a teeny bit. And that's what makes it special, is them pulling the Venn diagram closer, pulling those two circles closer and closer together, and you doing the same. And it makes you better, and I also like if that was right, if there's a way where you can be like, that's not comedy, that's stupid. First of all, fuck you. What the fuck do you know? And secondly, then we would miss out on Julio Torres. Julio Torres is the proof that comedy is everything and you don't know where it's going yet. Because you couldn't have seen Julio Torres coming. I mean, maybe if you worked at SNL.
Well, yeah. But before he was on SNL. Well, or even before when he was... Right when he was in college as a writing student, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, you are the future of comedy."
Yeah, no, or that Julio would be doing stuff like that. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
Do you have a joke that you pitched or anything you pitched at one point that you thought was so funny, but it didn't work, or they wouldn't let you put it on, but you'll go to your grave being like, "I was right, they're wrong. That's funny."
Oh well, there was this song I wrote about Christmas where I was like, it was a song about me. It was for Amber Ruffin show. And I pitched it and Jenny was like, we will not be doing that. I was like, okay. Because Jenny never acts like that. The song was, it was December 25th, a couple years ago. I went into a Walgreens and the lights were way down low. Something, Heart of Stone. That's when I saw Santa play the saxophone. And it was one of those dime store Santas that goes like this. Jingle bells, and it was just a song about how I fell in love with this thing. And I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever written. And Jenny was like, no. Then I pitched it to Seth, and Seth put it on, and I was like, ah. Jenny was like, don't do this. Like, I'm glad to know I'm getting your fucking sloppy seconds. I'm like, you're doing it. You already said yes. So yeah, we did that. That's out there. You can Google that, I think.
What is the best time you ever bombed?
Oh, easy. The best time I ever bombed was 1,000 years ago. For some reason, the election, maybe, we went to, no, that can't be right. For some reason, we did Late Night Seth in DC, and it was so fucking fun. And there was only one sketch on that whole week, and that one sketch was a sketch I wrote called Fun Obama, where I dressed up like Obama. And it was like, oh, Obama, we need you so much. You're gone, but we need you. And I'd be like, too bad I'm fucking windsurfing. I don't give a fuck. I'm Fun Obama. And the audience was like, what? But that was when we would do it for rehearsal. So we had our rehearsal audience, and it was just crickets, fucking crickets. And I'm just doing it hard. And I'm looking at Seth, and Seth is looking at me like, 7 more pages of this. I'm like, yeah, there are. And go back. And the audience was like, we don't know who you are or why you're doing this. So like that was the biggest lesson I learned at Late Night Seth is when the audience knows who you are, you can get away with this.
Yeah. All those
audience doesn't know who you are. You have to act right.
But so it didn't go to air. It just was a rehearsal.
Yeah. No one ever saw Fun Obama except those 100 people who were so unhappy. But we were all like, it was the only sketch. And we were all like, wow, we're doing it. Oh, man. Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yay, we did it. And that's comedy.